girl Desiree. I know I'm trying to be better with introducing myself because every video I just always just like, let's just get into it. But this week is actually going to be like some relationship topics and things like that. Maybe like something that might be a little bit controversial, but I hope you guys enjoy it. And y'all already know what I'm about to ask y'all to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Turn on your post notifications. I think that's it. But let's just get into it. The very first one is actually going to be about, I guess, something that's like coming in today's relationship world, but it's like posting one another on social media. So I can say that, you know, at one point in time, I was really like caught up in the world being posted on social media by my significant other. Now, since then, I have grown and it's not really that deep to me. Like, you know, regardless of if you post me on social media or not, like, I know that I'm still the person in your life, and that doesn't validate my relationship with that person or anything like that. So the reason why I even came up with this topic is, like I said, because I was one of those individuals that was just like, oh, you know, I want to be posted on Instagram and all this other stuff and yada, yada, yada. But the truth be told, I mean, people know who you with, I guess. You know, if you that type of person. But, you know, sometimes you can have a person that's really into social media, and then you can have your significant other that's not really into social media. And that's kind of how my relationship is now. Like, I'm the person that's always active and everything on social media, and he's the complete opposite of me. So I really had to get out of a mindset of being like, oh, you know, I have to get posted. Because honestly, like I said, it doesn't validate, you know, what a person does in a relationship, how they're acting towards you. Because, you know, just because somebody's posting you doesn't mean that, you know, stuff ain't going down, you know, behind the scenes, because you don't really know. But like I said, it's a common thing in today's society and in today's world. Like, oh, you know, I need to be your woman crush Wednesday. I need to be your woman crush every day, blah, 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 and so on and so forth. But honestly, now, y'all, I just be like, whatever. It is what it is. Like, you know, I post myself, like, because I'm the one that always posting pictures and stuff. So it really doesn't faze me anymore as to, like, that's like a sense of validation. Like, yeah, it still might be nice, like, to get posted every now and then and everything like that. But it doesn't, like I said, at the end of the day, it doesn't validate anything, you know, in terms of your relationship. So if I could say, like, that would be my best advice to anybody that probably feels that way, or maybe going through that currently, like, oh, he don't ever post me and all this other stuff. But it's like, okay, is everything else straight? Because if everything else straight, why does it even matter? Period. End of discussion. And y'all shouldn't even be talking about it. And that's just that on that. But yeah, on to the next question. Or, I don't know if they're really questions, but like little topics or whatever. So it says, family versus the love of your life. So I think this is a really touchy subject because it depends on the person's relationship with their family. Like, you have some people that they're really close to their family, and you have some people that's complete opposite just because their family be on some other stuff. So I think it depends on the situation. I don't think you should have to pin one another, like pin them against one another or anything like that. But I do think it plays a valuable role in how y'all relationship pans out. Like, you can't always just jump to go to them because something ain't going right in y'all relationship. Because guess what? When things is peachy, they gonna still be looking at your significant other like, I know what you did. Like, I know what it was. You know, and sometimes it is nice. Obviously, it's nice to have an outlet to talk to somebody about whatever the issues is. And some people are really close to their family. But y'all, let's be honest. You know, a lot of y'all family's messy. So it's like, if y'all sitting them telling them stuff, and then y'all get back on good terms, it's gonna be like, girl or boy, like, what is you doing? And of course, like, every scenario of a situation or whatever is going to be different. You know, like, let's say you got something planned with your girl or your dude, and then your family got something planned. It's like, honestly, I'm gonna go based off of who had hit me up first, because guess what? It's like a courteous thing. And I think sometimes people feel like, oh, you know, that's my significant other, so I have to do X, Y, and Z. Or that's my family, so I have to do this and that. But truth be told, it's like, you know, you at the end of the day. You know, you make your decisions for you. Don't nobody else make the decisions for you but you. So, you know, you just have to learn how to balance the two out. And honestly, when it comes to, like I said, when it comes to family and like your significant other, it is about balance, you know. And it is sometimes it's even about compromise, because obviously when you come together as a couple and everything like that, you're going to have families that have different events and stuff that's going on. like I said, you gonna have different stuff that's going on. So it's like, you know, you gotta do what works for you. I know some people try to base it off of like other people's situations and stuff like that, but you know, sometimes your situation ain't the same. So you can't be doing out here doing the stuff that other people doing. Like y'all do not live the same life. Point blank period. Like y'all be out here trying to base stuff off of, like I be seeing so many topics on like Facebook. Y'all, I live for Facebook. Like I would not ever delete that app. But I be on Facebook looking at like a lot of relationship stuff, and I just like, honestly, and that's what made me come up with this topic for today. And I honestly just feel like, you know, some people be so caught up in their own little bubble, especially like I see a lot of females on like social media talking about a lot of things, but it's just like I need my man to do this, that, and the third. You know, I need him to do, sis, you can't even do that for yourself. So why you expect the man to do it? Like, what's good? And the thing is, when you address a female like that, they're just like, oh, you know, they got this and that to say out the side of their neck and all this stuff. But it's like, it's the truth. So that's just that. But y'all, I ain't gonna get into too much of that. But I mean, yeah, like I was saying, that's just that. But on to the next topic. So it was, does love distract you from your goals? Honestly, I think it just depends on the individual. You know, it is easy to get caught up in a relationship and lose sight of what you had planned initially. Like a good relationship should never hinder you from the things that you want to accomplish. It should always push you and motivate you to get those things, you know, you to continue to get those things accomplished. And if you do feel like those things are hindering you, you know, guess what? Or you do feel like your relationship is hindering you, you need to take a step back from that relationship because it's not beneficial to you anyway. And that's the truth. And the thing is, it's like sometimes you know, as individuals, obviously you yearn for affection and things like that. But sometimes you got to be okay with like doing stuff by yourself on your own and just getting that stuff done. But yeah, like I said, you know, it's always going to be up to you as, you know, as an individual to hold yourself accountable. Like you can't sit here and blame your relationship for the reasons why, you know, you haven't accomplished a goal. You know, because at the end of the day, like I said, that's on you. So you have to hold yourself accountable. And if you hold yourself accountable, then it makes the whole process, your whole relationship flow completely different because you're holding you accountable. You know, you shouldn't be sitting here on somebody else's back about what they should be doing, what they shouldn't be doing, whatever the case is. And that's just that. And guess what? You're going to get your goals accomplished if you want to, because that's up to you. And that's just that. Period. Next. Y'all, I initially planned on doing this vlog with my boyfriend, but you know, he on some other stuff tonight. So that's just that. So some of the topics that I had to skip over them because it was going to be like us, you know, giving our opinions about it.
I can still answer them.
Oh my God. Okay, so it says, has our relationship changed since we first started dating? The answer is definitely yes. We've both grown a lot as individuals because it's like some things that we were doing at the beginning of our relationship, it was affecting us in a negative way in our current, you know, in our relationship with one another or whatever. So it's just like, we just had to take a minute to, we actually was together for 3 years and then we split up, you know, for a minute just because like we wanted to make sure that we are what each other wanted. And we actually, you know, moved apart and we dated other people and everything like that. And sometimes I feel like when it comes to relationships, a lot of people feel as if, you know, oh, you know, we break up and like, oh, what if we don't get back together? I honestly feel like, you know, if y'all don't get back together, then it wasn't meant to be in the first place, you know, and just let that be that, you know, because sometimes it's like, depending on what the situation is in itself in that relationship is going to determine if it's worth even fighting for. At the end of the day, if it's something worth fixing and is not to a certain degree in your relationship, then I feel like, you know, it's definitely worth working on. And you can't be so afraid of, you know, taking a break from somebody because you have this fear of, oh, what if we don't get back together? Y'all, it's a lot of people in this world, you know, if y'all wasn't meant to be together and everything like that, then guess what? It's somebody out there that, you know, will still appreciate you and love you just as much as that person, you know, did. You know, or still does, whatever the case is. But like I said, you know, if you don't honestly see growth and things like that when it comes to your relationship, then it's kind of like, you know, what are we doing? If your relationship is very just stagnant, it's just like, there's no point in you continuing that relationship because it's not beneficial anymore. You know, and that's just that. But, you know, that time apart gave us both a lot of time to like reevaluate things. Honestly, didn't think we was gonna get back together. Now I'm about to even lie to y'all, you know, and it was a big decision for both of us. It was not easy by any means to sit here and to say like, oh, you know, we need to break up, especially when you've been with somebody for that long period of time. It's just like, you know, the whole thought of having to start all over again, it's like, that's not something that you want to do. And I'm not sitting here, I'm speaking from experience. Like, I know some people that probably don't want to openly admit to that, but the thing is, you know, be okay with doing certain things like that, because it's a part of growth. It's a part of you as an individual, and it's not going to be like, I don't want to say it's going to be a bad thing, because like I said, you know, our relationship is better than ever now. So I'm grateful for it at the end of the day, you know, and that's just that. Do you have anything to say, babe?
I love you, and shit, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you love your girl, if you love your man, you will change for the better. That's all.
Okay, so the next topic is opinions on living relationships. So y'all, this is not the golden age. Like, couples live together. You know, you don't have to wait till you get married to go live together. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you right now. If you get married to somebody, it's almost like 100% guaranteed that you didn't know certain things that they did that could probably bug the hell out of you. And you get so caught up in like, oh, you know, you have all this love and all this stuff like that. But some of that stuff, you know, that they be doing, it's like, can I even deal with that? Is it even worth it? But the thing is, when you do live with that significant other, that person, it's like you see all of that. So it's like when you see all of that, it gives you room to actually grow in your relationship to be better. You know, it was a lot of stuff, like I said, well, even with the last topic, it's a lot of stuff that you probably want to do or did, and it's like, that's just not gonna fly. But yeah, you know, I honestly, I would promote living with your significant other. I'm an activist for it because it's like you get to see the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you get to see if that's a person that you can actually even want to live with. Like, when it comes down to like how organized they are, like both of us are super organized, so you know, I love that. You know, keep your stuff where it is. I keep my stuff where it is. You know, we know where stuff is when we go to look for it or whatever the case is. But yeah, it's like, if you don't live with that person, then it's really, really hard for you to, you know, it's really hard for you to see all of those things. And like I said, times are different now, you know, and that's just that. Okay, so my last statement, or I mean, I guess it's opinion or whatever, or topic, is who should pay the bills? Y'all, like I said again earlier, I see so much stuff on Facebook when it comes to bills and how they should be done and all this other stuff. Honestly, everybody has different arrangements in their relationship. So you can't sit here and say, oh, the man should be paying all this, or the woman should be paying this, or we should go half and half. Honestly, it is dependent upon your situation. You may not have a situation where the man can pay all the bills. You may not have a situation where, you know, the couple can go half and half. You may not have a situation where, I'm not going to get into all the situations. You just may not have a situation that works like that. You have to dictate it based off of your own situation, not based off of what you see in society and anything like that. Now, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say, like, I didn't grow up in a certain household. Like, you know, my dad was the one who paid literally, like, everything. So, you know, when you see certain things, that's just how, you know, you're going to have your preference. But, you know, the thing is, as you're growing up and becoming a young adult, it's like the reality of things is that, you know, you have to be able to put yourself in a certain situation. Like, at one point, when we were living together the very first time, you know, we were going half and half on our bills because that was that worked for us, you know. And I'm not sitting here saying that everybody should have to do that, but that's just, you know, that's just the way that it was. And of course, you're gonna have women out here like, oh, y'all going half and half with a man, I could never, blah blah blah, this and the third. You can't even afford that place without that man, so girl, shut up. And that's just that. Like, I don't even be wanting to hear it. But the thing is, it's like, you have all these women with these standards, a lifestyle that they can't even provide for themselves, y'all. Like, I'm not speaking for myself because I can, you know, I have and I did, you know, and that's just that. Of course, our situation is completely different now. You know, we're in a completely different financial state and all that, you know, and things are different now. So it's like, yeah, we don't have to do that. But, you know, at the time when we first were living together, we were like 19. He was, what, 21? 18, he was 21. Whatever the case is, we were much younger then. So it's like, you know, we have to be able to put ourselves in a certain position that is comfortable for us. You know, we were still able to take vacations and do all of this stuff, plan significant dates and all that stuff for one another. So it's not like, oh, you know, that person feels like I'm not being considerate of their income and their feelings and the way that they're trying to do things, operate or whatever, you know, so on and so forth. So like I said, don't sit here and be on social media trying to let them dictate how you should do your relationship and end up homeless, girl. But y'all, that's my tea for today. And, you know, like I said, I won't get into too much depth. If y'all got different opinions about stuff, then feel free to comment below. I do not trip on the comments or anything like that. But like I said, different strokes for different folks. Y'all hear me say that in all my videos because I live by that. Because it's the truth. You know, you can't sit here and be caught up in the reality of social media. And I feel like it is so easy on social media for things to look like they're a certain way that they are not, you know. And let me just cover my own behind and just say that I'm not saying there's anything wrong with, you're going to have a man paying completely all of it, or whatever the case is. You really have to do what works for you, you know, and what works for you may not work for somebody else. Like I have, me included, and some other friends and stuff like that, where their dude makes enough money for them to be able to do certain things. You have to base it off of your own situation. And I'm gonna just finish it off at that. And that's just that. But y'all, I want to thank y'all for tuning in today. Hopefully y'all enjoyed my my TED Talk for today. As everybody call it on social media. But hopefully y'all like topics like this. I will definitely try to do more topics and things like this, because I know that it's stuff that people love to hear, like people's response on and all that stuff. So hey y'all, if you got any other topics and stuff that you want me to discuss, feel free to put them in the comments below. And guess what I'm asking you to do? Hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so you know when your girl is posting. You know, we just keeping it chill here with the quarantine vibes. But yeah, until next time, love you guys. Bye.